So they're saying that, therefore, being enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that each of the states of North Carolina, South Carolina, Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, Florida shall be entitled and admitted to representation in Congress as a state of the Union when the legislature of such state shall have duly ratified the amendment to the Constitution of the United States proposed by the 39th Congress and known as Article 14 upon the following fundamental conditions. So they're saying that they will become a state once they do that, but they were already a state in the first place. See, if they adopt the 14th Amendment, they're adopting that federal national citizenship that didn't exist before, folks, that singular communistic citizenship status that's been, rather than the multiple state body politic statuses. In other words, Florida state citizenship, Georgia state citizens. So, now let's fast forward to today. That's a big fast forward. That was in 1868. Those states became another state, a whole other state. So a state, if you look in the law of nations, is a body politic, of people. So the state that existed prior to the 14th Amendment was a state of Florida state or Iowa state citizens, because their legislatures were all Iowa state citizens or Illinois state citizens. And those states were able to confer their own individual state citizenship upon you. I have something by Andrew Johnson talking about that in one of his, I think he was vetoing the Civil Rights Act, which was actually a precursor to the 14th Amendment, that attempted to create this singular federal citizenship that didn't exist before. And Johnson said, no, the rights of the states to confer their own state citizenship exists just with them. And that the right to confer federal citizenship exists with the federal government. So he was definitely aware of the distinction between the two. And that was in 1866. So once you remove the people that were once Florida state citizens in the legislature, and then you make them new federal citizens at gunpoint and get them to become a whole new state of the union, you've now just created a whole other state of federal citizens that are just existing in Florida or existing in Georgia or existing in Tennessee or Illinois. So now by accepting this federal citizenship, you're actually committing a crime against your original body politic. You're getting into a foreign enemy that invaded your state. And
these people were mad at what Johnson stated, and they rewrote the Reconstruction Act to rectify the defects. And actually, it was written very cleverly. And this is something I discovered back in the mid-'90s, which led me to the information in the Red Amendment, and that's what Jeff's trying to describe right now, or is describing rather, that they made it a crime to vote because the states are proper countries, and they said, this is my spin on it, the conspirators that established all this information went back and said, okay, if we're going to have resistance to this, we know people are dumb, and Congress, they don't know their head from a hole in the ground. We're just going to sneak one in on them, and we're going to have people rebel against their lawful governments. So it's actually written right into the 14th Amendment, Section 2. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'll say. You can pick up from there, Jeff.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to tell you folks is that a foreign power that was not authorized by the Constitution, an act which was constitutionally repugnant, effectively created this particular citizenship status that did not exist, a federal citizenship status, and now they're saying, oh, well, the only way you can vote now is if you're one of us now. But that was all done at gunpoint. It was all done by martial law powers, unauthorized by the Constitution, in times of peace. In times of peace. And that is the heart of it. That's what we're getting at, is that they wrote the Section 2 of the 14th Amendment to seal that up and say, in so many words, that the right to vote is denied unless you're participating in rebellion.
And I've written papers on that extensively. Treason by Design. Look it up on the internet.
It's written on a 30th grade level.
Yeah,
it's very hard to read and understand. But once you understand the history of where we're coming from with these Reconstruction Acts, you can see.
Jeff, your email. We're time's up. Email.
All right. Oh, my email, FloridaRepublic@gmail.com. Get the notes, FloridaRepublic@gmail.com.
See you next week, folks, for part 2 of this. Bye.